guys, Kinsey here, and today I'm back with some more pickups. And these are all things that I got over the holidays, be it, gifts or shopping or whatever. So you'll see. So I'm just gonna jump right in. And first off, like many of you, I went home for the holidays, and what's better to do at home than to stop by the local thrift shops? And I didn't get that much, but I surprisingly found some games even though it was a pretty small town. So first off, I got Myst 3 on the PS2. I was very surprised I didn't have this. It doesn't have the manual, but it was so cheap, like small town thrift store prices is not nearly the same as Seattle thrift store prices, so I picked it up still. And next up is Ratchet Deadlocked on the PS2. I also didn't own this one. I'm missing very, very, very few of the Ratchet & Clank series now, so I'm going to try to grab the last couple. And, for games like this, thrift stores are usually a pretty good place to do that. And last but not least is Final Fantasy X-2. And I did own this, but... But it was in nice shape. Like, the disc was, untouched. Same with the manual. So, and being in my hometown, I just kind of couldn't leave it behind. And in all honesty, my stack was actually a lot bigger, and I had to talk my into putting some stuff back. It's okay to put it back. So I only grabbed 3 things at the thrift store this time, but better than nothing. Yeah. And next up is going to be more games. And these ones I got all as Christmas gifts. So let's take a look. First up is Siberia 3 on the PS4. And this is a series that I've been meaning to get into for way too long because I have it on the Xbox. So, but really excited to have this. It was on my wish list, so I've always wanted to try it. It's a adventure game that's very heavy on the story and the puzzles and things like that. So it's right up my alley. So can't wait to try it. Probably am going to start with the first one, so it might be a while, but hopefully soon. And next up is Sword Art Online Lost Song. And I haven't actually played any of the Sword Art Online games. I don't think there's that many. But I did really like the anime. So, getting to play this and it's all a brand new adventure, it made me really excited. Way too excited. But really excited. Because I also haven't watched an anime in a really long time. So getting back into it with Sword Art was pretty fun. Because I think it was on Netflix. So, it's right there. Might as well watch it. And it's got to do with video games. So, and now it is a video game. So I'm also very excited to try this one. And next, not on the PS4, is Cruisin' World. And on the 64, I love Cruisin' USA. I love finding Cruisin' arcade machines in arcades because I don't see them that often anymore. But Cruisin' World, Cruisin' Exotica, I think it's called. It's awesome. I love all those games. And it's one of those more common N64 games that I didn't have. So, perfect gift for me, common 64 games. And on that note, also got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Excellent soundtrack in these Tony Hawk games, but I didn't actually have the second one on 64, so it's another one for my collection. Alright, and next up is not a game. If you've seen my videos before, then you know that I also try to pair my videos with beer, and that's what I'm doing today. And this is the 7-Day Sour. It's a golden sour by Trinity Brew Evoke Fermentations in Colorado Springs, Colorado, I think. Yeah, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And this was actually one of my Christmas presents. It was pretty cool. My mom and my little brother got me basically a bucket full of beer that they got at a bottle shop. So they got a bunch of really cool and interesting flavors. This one that we're going to try here today, there was a Star Trek 30th Anniversary Ale. There was a lot. It was amazing. It was also a great present for me. But this one, I was really excited about it. I've been really into sours lately. I've never had anything by Trinity, So might as well. And it's got a lot of information on the bottle, which I love it when places do that. Let's see. It's vegan, so that's awesome. Re-fermented in the bottle to high carbonation levels for lively aromatics and dry effervescence. Ooh. I made a big deal about this before. Well, big deal is in, like, it was hilarious. It says do not rouse in, like, exclamation points and, like, "Rah! Don't rouse the beer!" Ah! I'm assuming it's because it has, like, floaties on the bottom. Because that'll happen in, like, homebrew. Because it does say to make sure you do a hard pour. And I'm assuming that means, like, when you're pouring the beer, just don't stop. Just put it all in one glass, and that's what it's going to be. It also says to make sure to serve it at 45 to 50 degrees. So I did chill this right before the video, so hopefully it stayed cold enough throughout games. But yeah, I just love this. There's so much information on here. It's 5% alcohol by volume. It says mouth-watering aged footy hops and plenty of fakey head retention. Footies and fakies. I got nothing, but it was funny. And it's also fermented with a blend of Brettanomyces and Lactobacillus for apparent funk and zesty acidity. And Brett is a yeast strain that has actually been used in a lot of, like, sour IPAs. I've seen it a lot around here. So if you see a Brett IPA, it's gonna have a little bit of that sour funk twang to it. So anyways, there's a lot more information on this bottle, but we gotta try this. It can't warm up above 50 degrees. It does have really nice aromatics. It definitely, I can kind of smell, like, kind of that sour Brett kind of smell. And it also smells dry. So kind of like maybe in the vein of like a champagne, maybe? I mean, if you saw my last video, I don't know much about champagne, but it smells kind of like this. That's got some funk. Woo! It's good. Very sour. I don't think I'd call it like a tang. It's definitely like a funk. In a good way. Oh. That's really good. I wonder if they do other, I mean, I'm sure they probably do other sours since it's called a, like, fermentation project. So that's good. Sours are kind of like the new hit. They're like, sours are the new IPA. So if you have any sort of craft brewing in your area, you might have a place that has some sours. And if you go to, like, the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, there's a brewery there called Cascade, and they're, like, known for their sours. So there's that too. All right. So we got games, and next we're gonna do some controllers. So first up, Spice! It's not like I needed one of these, but I did because I only had 3, and now, like, the family's complete. And I have the Spice controllers, I have the Spice GameCube, Spice Game Boy Player, Spice Game Boy Advance, like, I got the whole family, and it's beautiful. So I really only needed this so I could have 4. Worth it, right? Right? Right. Alright, and next up is actually a gift from a fan, and I knew this was coming, and I'm very excited about it. And so Wayne was nice enough to donate to the channel a Poppin' Music controller! Ah! I'm so excited. I love this game in the arcades, and I have a couple import copies on the PS1, so now that I can finally play it at home, this is so exciting. Thank you again. And thank you to Kelsey for holding on to it, because he actually sent it to Pink Gorilla to give to her to give to me. So it did make its way here, and thank you so much. It's super exciting, and I can't wait to play with it. Yeah. Alright, and next we're gonna go to, I don't think I have any games left. Well, you'll see. I don't have any video games left. So I'm gonna move to pretty much just non-gaming things, but most of them are also nerd things, so there's that. So first up, I actually got book 1 of the Witcher novels, and this is Blood of Elves. And I've read The Last Wish, which is more of a collection of like short stories and things like that. But this is the first book of like more of a continuing storyline type scenario. And I did really like The Last Wish. What was cool about that, even though it was a collection of stories, some of those little like mini stories were like side quests that I encountered in one of the Witcher games, and that was so fun because it has such like intense, awesome lore. So The Witcher comes from such a cool place. So being able to, you know, read more about that, I'm really, really excited about that. Next up, another nerd book. And this was another Christmas present. And I got, this is a graphic novel of The Legend of Drizzt Book 2. And I've actually read all the novels of these, so now I can read them again with pictures. So this is Exile by R.A. Salvatore. And this is in the, what is it called? Dark Elf trilogy, which is so good and so awesome. So I'm excited to, you know, read it again, but in a little bit different light. So with pictures. And next up, another book, last book. Not as nerdy, different kind of nerd. But here's a beer book. And this is Beer, Food, and Flavor, a guide to tasting, pairing, and the culture of craft beer. And I was actually really excited to get this because I feel like I love craft beer. I like reviewing them, but a lot of my descriptive words and some things are a little bit lacking. So, you know what? Maybe this will help me deliver better reviews for you guys. So, I'll give it a shot. We'll take a look. And I mean, if anything, I really like reading about craft beer. And there's a whole chapter on pairing craft beer with fancy cheese. So, I mean, that sounds fantastic. All right, and next up, non-nerdy, non-gaming, non-any of that. We'll get back to the nerdy, though. But real quick, I just had to show these because I'm girly, and these are so beautiful. And these are actually makeup brushes. But they're so pretty and colorful and happy and soft. But they're just like, I don't know, pretty unicorn brushes, and I couldn't not include them in this video because of how beautiful they are. And there's like a million of them in here, so I'm gonna be putting on a lot of unicorn makeup, and I'm very excited about that. All right, and so next up is a big one, but this is the Legend of Drizzt board game. I'm so excited. This is like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of scenario type game after the Legend of Drizzt. And he's one of the more like famous characters from the Forgotten Realms kind of series of D&D. And so I'm sure many of you know of him and have read the books. And so he's like a dark elf that has basically forsaken his heritage and moved to the surface. And he's awesome. So to play like a board game based off that just sounds so much fun to me, and I love like more medieval fantasy adventure type board games, and to have one with characters that I already know and love sounds even better. And I'm kind of like stupid excited that it's from like 1 to 5 players, so if no one wants to play it with me, I can play it by myself. Might sound sad, but not at all. I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's a big box though. I don't know if it's gonna be hard to play, but I don't think so. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, so that's all I got. Just kind of a short pickups video this time. I just want to get some of my like holiday gifts and holiday thrifting, like showing you guys now, so I can open it up and play with it. But thank you so much for watching. You can find me on the internet at KinsZilla, KinsZilla, and thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and also be sure to comment below if you've read any kind of nerd or video game themed books like the Witcher series or things like that. I'd like to know. So thank you so much for subscribing, and cheers.